son worked. They were his friends too. He works the night shift. He works the whole night through. That morning it came an awful storm. The thunder, it was... The thunder, it did roar. The lightning, it was terrible. I'd never seen it like this before. It didn't last very long, but it got me out of bed. And I turned on the TV, and this is what it said. There's been an explosion at the mines as the miners were going in. Some of them got back out, but some were trapped within. We are going to need some help, I heard someone say. That is what happened on that tragic day. I called my son to see if he was all right, and he was getting ready for his shift that night, but he had got a call from a friend who told him of the fatal end. And he's still working. That's him right there. He's an electrician at the Sago Mine.
Wow. Yeah. Oh.
Everything I write about is true, but that's my first book. This is my second one.
So you're what, about 28, 29 years old, you think? You're inside your heart is like still in its early 16,
I
17?
tell you, if it wasn't for God forgiving me the
absolutely.
ability to do this, I would
Amen.
not be able to do it. But I'll have to tell you, I got one more I'd like to tell you real quick, because she's familiar with this. I got a divorce in 1974, and I moved over to Elkins, and I was working 3 jobs. Well, you know, after you get a divorce, you sort of go haywire for a little while. So I was working, and I went down to her house, you know, for the weekend. Well, here come her minister. He looked at me, and he said, "Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?" And I thought, well, what's that to you? I don't remember what I said to him, but I went out in the yard to play with the kids, you know. I went back to Elkins, all 3 jobs that kept coming to me. Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian? And this is what happened. Are you a Christian? The minister said as he looked me in the eyes. For a moment I couldn't answer him, for he took me by surprise. For a moment my mind drifted back to a little church far away, where I used to go every Sunday and bow my head and pray. This church was nothing fancy. The seats were hard and bare, but it was very sacred. You could feel God's presence there. The honor roll was on the wall with stars of gold and blue. There was a picture of Jesus and the 10 Commandments too. How many years I'd gone there to worship with my son. Then something happened to me and I drifted back in sin. On September the 4th, 1984, I met that minister once more, and I knew that I must get saved again when I entered the church's door. There was such turmoil within me as I was standing there when the invitation was offered. I went up front for prayer. I asked God to forgive me for all the wrongs I'd done, and there was such a peace within me. I knew that I had won. As I stood there with my daughter and strangers, tears streamed down my face, and I knew that God had saved me. I knew I'd found my place. So now I'll do the best I can for all my friends to see, that if you follow in God's words, you'll win a victory.
Yeah, well, those are more like the pickle beans.
That was all it took, was for him to say that to me. Are you a Christian?
Wow. Well, let me ask you something. I work with senior citizens. That's exactly what my job is. And I'd like to know which one of these books would be a good one for me to share with them in a circle, reading them some of your poems. Would be inspirational.
Okay.
And I'm going to get one.
Okay. This was my first one. It's got the one about West Virginia in it that I recited. This one's got the one about the Sago Mines. Thank God I'm Saved is in that one. That's my second one. And this is my third one. Where is it? I think that one's in that one now.
I'll come over.
This one's got one about a squirrel.
I work at River Park Hospital.
Oh, well, she's a substitute teacher now.
See, I'm from Crosslines. I'm not from Huntington. But I work down in Huntington. So, but I love poetry. Is something they love to listen to. And they'll really enjoy this. They will really enjoy this. And you gave me one right here.